Today on Your Questions Answered, I'm answering the general question of what woodworking books do I read and like and enjoy. So let's jump in and we'll get started. First off, I don't really have many woodworking books. Some of these I picked up just recently, like the Campaign Furniture and Joseph Moxon's book, but let's just go through these and I'll talk you through a little bit why I like them. So I thought we'd start off first with the more vintage style books. These are ones that I picked up secondhand. These are books from Robert Waring, which I believe I've mentioned before. These books here are just a great overview, like this one here, of the various tools. This one's all in black and white, but it gives a good overview of what tools you might want, need, and for what purpose. So I do like this one, especially if you're a beginner. It's just a good little overview of a book. Then there's this one, which is the Resourcefulness Woodworker. It's Tools, Techniques and Tricks of the Trade. And this book covers things on power routers and hand tools and how to do various tools and techniques and how to achieve various different processes. As you can see here, there's pictures of power routers and stuff, so it does have a little bit of stuff in here directed towards more of a hybrid use, but there's still some really interesting and useful information in this book. And then there's these ones on aids and jigs and devices, and these ones have so many different jigs and aids and things in here that I have never actually seen before. Thicknessing jigs and all sorts of other various marking jigs and that, and so this is actually a really good book. And so is this other little one that I got along this, but these were all fairly inexpensive, a lot cheaper than buying them brand new, but I'm not sure if these books are actually still in print. So yeah, I'm not sure when these were actually printed either, so let me just have a quick look for you. So that's 1980s, 1992, 1991, and I suspect this one's 1991 as well. 1996. So I doubt you'll find many of these in brand new print, but some of them you might still, so it's up to you. I suggest trying to look on some secondhand places like I did and get them inexpensive. Now I'm going to jump into new books that I picked up, and the first one I'm going to jump into is Goodman's British Planemakers book. This is the 4th edition. I did get this brand new. I picked this one up off Amazon, and the reason I've got this is you might have noticed that I do have a few wooden hand planes. I got more than what I've got up here, and other wooden tools and braces and things like that. So I found this very useful because I like to know the age of tools that I'm buying and the age of what I've got and the maker and things like that. So I like the historical side of things with those, and this book goes a long way for me to determining exactly how old the tool is. And although this is for British plane makers, so it's obviously British makers, I found the logos section in here. There's a section in the back here which shows dates, logos, all of that sort of thing, and the stamps. And I found that useful for even tools that aren't plane makers, because some of these plane makers also make other tools. And so I found this one, although it might not be up everyone's alley, I found it very useful if you're into the history and determining the tool and the age and all of that. So that's a great book for that. There are obviously other editions, but this is the most up to date and probably the best one. I'm not sure. I haven't used the other editions, so if you've already got other editions, you might not need this one. And then come into the pocket book. Now, the Woodworker's Pocket Book was edited by Charles H. Harwood, but it was originally, it's a reprint or an edited reprint of the 1949 edition of the book. And the whole idea is it's a pocket size, so it's in your back pocket or in your toolbox or whatever, and is with you the whole time. And it's meant to be sort of a reference guide. It shows all things about different glues, different basic woodworking joints, as you can see here. Now, it is in imperial, so it's not metric, but it's easy enough to convert some of those things. But a lot of the information, like how veneers are made, different terms of woodworking, there are some conversions here from imperial to decimal. So there's a lot of useful information here, screws, various miters, as I said, different molding types, and then very useful sort of geometry things. So if you're trying to lay stuff out, and I've found some of that very useful, especially when I do come to lay out some of these things, which I haven't done yet, but it's got a lot of very useful basic geometry, trigonometry, that sort of thing in here as well. So it's not the most expensive book, this one. This one was fairly inexpensive, but I think it's a great reference guide, especially for a beginner that wants to know a wide range of sort of topics related to the woodworking when they're first starting out. The next book here is Euclid's Door. Now this is a very useful book. Some of you probably saw the video where I made the panel square. Obviously my edition, but the idea and design came out of this book. This book is authored by Toplin and Walker, so George H. Walker and Jim Toplin, and there's a lot of very useful various layout tools, and the whole book covers, there's the panel gauge, panel square, right angle holding blocks, and so it's got a lot of very useful suggestions on how to lay various things out, and a whole bunch of different tools from marking gauges and squares and things like that to make yourself. So I think this is actually a really great book, especially if you want to build some of your own tools and use your own tools and have the joy of building them. And then it brings me into my two newest editions, The Art of Joinery by Joseph Moxon and Campaign Furniture. So obviously Joseph Moxon needs no introduction, things like the Moxon Vice. This one has Christopher Swart's commentary, so the additional commentary on there is what he believes the text is saying, and then some additional context from his point of view. In some cases it's not so much about modern joinery, but it gives you a lot of context of how the joinery was done traditionally, and his thoughts on various tools and stuff. And so I like the historical context of this book, and I think it does help me better understand what I'm doing and try to do it in the most traditional way possible in this modern world. And that's what I want to do. I want to try and get things back to its bare bones basics, traditional roots, and with less of a modern influence on it. And so that's what I believe this book does, and I've read through this one a couple of times now, and it's just got a wealth of knowledge in there. And then Campaign Furniture. Now this might not be for everyone. I'm quite interested in the Campaign Furniture. I haven't actually read through this one much yet, but I like the idea of doing some more of the Campaign Furniture designs, various takes on different furniture like stools and whatnot, and so these have been reproduced in here based on the original ones. And this one is actually by Christopher Schwartz, which some of you will probably know that, and so I'm going to be diving into this book a little bit more. It might not be for everyone, but I'm really into that sort of portable furniture and durable furniture that's movable and portable. And so I think if we can make more furniture that's durable and portable, we're less likely to buy throwaway stuff, and we can move our furniture with us, whether it's from house to house to house or when you're camping and things like that. I think this is going to be a useful book, but I thought it was just a good special mention here. Some of you might be interested in it, some of you might not be, but that's another one that I intend to delve more into when I get the chance. So there you have it, folks. This is my small list of books that I refer to for historical context, naming and aging various tools that I've got, and just building jigs to inspire me and to improve my hand tool woodworking, and also for content ideas for you guys here on YouTube. So if you like this video, please do like and subscribe down below. While you're down there, do sound off in the comments. What woodworking books do you like? Whether they're older books or newer books. Do you have any of these books? Do let us know down below, because I might be interested and maybe I'll add to this collection if you think there's some really good books there that I should have a look at. And if you'd like to see another video such as the one you've seen here today, do check out the playlist up here of all your questions answered videos to date. Bye for now.